I'm Jeremy.
I'm AJ.
And I am going to have a busy week. Welcome back for another week of Extraordinary Times. You will only have to deal with me today and tomorrow because I am going to Las Vegas with a fantastic band by the name of Series 6.
You should check them out.
You should check them out. We're going to link you to their YouTube right here and put a link to series6.net down in the bar. For anyone you know that might be in Las Vegas, there's a great show going to go on this Friday. I'm going to be a part of helping Series 6 be awesome at that show. Not as much as I'd like to be, but because, you know, they stand on their own. But on to the news.
Yeah, because I'm not going to be there. Anyway, so North Korea is being unusually specific, and if anybody gets that reference, then good on you.
Oddly specific.
Oddly specific. Anyway, so South Korea has been saying, you know, these people are nuts, these people are crazy, and North Korea has kind of proved it by saying we will turn South Korea to ashes in less than 4 minutes.
Well, that's a little bit nerve-wracking.
Kind of gives me a headache. Anyway.
Good headache.
So, you know, they failed the missile launch. They're going to be doing nuclear testing probably. And now they're going to say, we are going to reduce South Korea to absolutely nothing in 4 minutes or less or something like that.
Apparently they're going to have a game show. Who can turn South Korea to ash in 4 minutes or less? Something.
Hello, war. Here we come.
Yeah, so maybe everything's going to die or not. Hopefully not. Probably not, hopefully. But we move on. Andrew Breitbart, as we have talked about him before, they just released his coroner report. You know, he and Whitney Houston died around the same time. He died a little bit after, so now his coroner report's finally out. And, you know, the decently healthy Andrew Breitbart died of heart failure.
You should see some of the comments.
So, you know, you should go check that out because it's kind of a big deal because this guy was full-on healthy, full-on, you know, went to the doctor, wasn't one of those weirdos that doesn't go to the doctor or anything. He was a good, healthy guy and just died out of nowhere when he said he was going to come out with some news.
The main point, I think, from me on this article is, like I said, the comments. I did not realize there were so many ways to fake a heart attack with no trace.
I did.
Oh boy. Anyway, so technology.
I didn't say I knew how to get a hold of the stuff. That'd be bad and wrong. Bad wrong.
Where's my tinfoil? Anyway, so the Pentagon has released the results of its 13,000 mile per hour test flight of its fun little arrowhead-shaped device. There's a lot of news coverage on it a little while ago when it had to stop testing halfway through the flight because, well, something went wrong.
I swear, it shifted dimensions or something. Things aren't meant to go 13,000 miles an hour. That's all I'm saying.
Really what happens, what they're saying anyway, is the thin layer of paint stuff, whatever secret chemical that was covering it, started peeling away, leaving the wiring and stuff that was just like a couple centimeters below the surface exposed.
Because that's a wise thing to do.
Stopped it.
Put a couple of millimeters of paint and metal between your integral systems and, you know, the air that's rushing at 13,000 miles an hour around it.
Either way, we can shoot things at 13,000 miles per hour.
Go fig. For those of you who don't know, that is crossing half the world in an hour. Half the world.
Yeah. So when North Korea says it's gonna anyway.
North Korea says that they're gonna wave their stuff around, and America says no. America means no. All we're saying. Oh, they're gonna declare war on us too.
Oh.
Yay! So speaking of countries that shouldn't have things that they have and are waving them around, Iran, Ahmadinejad and his friends over there, they captured a U.S. spy drone that was flying over their country, and we talked about how they were making copies of it, and they gave one, or they reserved one for President Obama that was pink that said "Death to America." Well, they are now officially released that they are tearing it apart and learning about it and going to build a copy of it, to which I say, good luck.
It's probably a few levels above them.
It's probably a few exponents above them. Just saying. I'm not saying they're stupid. I'm saying America's the greatest country in the world. That's all. That's all.
Speaking of being the greatest country in the world.
Yeah.
Okay, so the two Google executives, whose names I always forget, and I really don't care.
I always forget, but thank you, Google executives, for very, very minutely paying our bills.
The name Google executives is much better than their actual name. Anyway, and James Cameron, along with a few other people, are starting a new company, the details of which will be released tomorrow, but we know so far they will be an asteroid mining company.
So that's a thing now. So remember the time that we one day were not mining asteroids and the next day we were? I think that's about to happen.
Yeah.
High five.
And it's James Cameron, the one who did Avatar and Titanic. And
basically has more money than J.K. Rowling, who has more money than the Queen. So, it's good.
Personally, I think he just wanted some asteroid mining details for his third Avatar movie, and he's like, hey, we don't know how to do any of that yet, so let's make a company that does it so I can make the movie. I want to see that movie.
Oh. He's probably just going to document them going to an asteroid in 3D, maybe 4D. We'll have hologram. It'll be hologram movies instead of like 3D with glasses movies. These are not 3D glasses, P.S. But moving on. Speaking of glasses, awkward segues. Awkward segues. So there's a Chinese company who designers of sunglasses and fancy fashion things. They recently came out with a line of sunglasses that they named Helen Keller. For those of you who don't know, the Helen Keller that we all know and love and espouse in America is a lady who was born both blind and deaf and still had such an amazing brain that she learned how to communicate first with drawing alphabet on the palms of the people she was trying to communicate with, and would communicate words thusly, and then eventually actually learned how to speak and how to communicate properly, and she learned, and she was amazing. And apparently, normally I would dog on especially China doing something crazy like this, but apparently in China she is just as big of an influence and an inspiration to the people in China, because everybody knows the name Helen Keller, and so tacky using her name for a product, but still illustrating the fact that they know their history and the American history. Yay, America, as I've said a couple of thousand times on this show. But yeah, awesome. And
it is China, different culture and everything. To them, this is a compliment.
Yeah, this is a compliment. So I will, as American as I am, take it as a compliment that they're paying tribute to probably one of the coolest people ever, like ever.
Yep.
Like her and Jesus, they're up there.
Speaking of religion,
Woo!
Awkward segue number 2. All right,
in a row. What up?
There is a religion that was started over in Sweden, and check out previous shows to see what other crazy stuff Sweden is doing. Anyway, this particular one being one that believes that information should be free. It's called copy-meism. Yes, it's supposed to be played off the word copy me. Basically, pirated information would not be illegal under this particular religion. They're pushing every outward. When they were first formed, they were, it was blast across the world like, holy crap, this exists. And
you know what?
It's made its way here.
It's just as absurd as Pastafarianism, which, if you don't know what that is the religion that is based around the flying spaghetti monster. And for me, it just people will use religion to try and legitimize anything. Yeah. If anyone's taught us that, it's Scientology. So you know what?
We blame you.
We blame you. Honestly, you started it. You
Either
used
way,
a science fiction book and you turned it into a religion. I'm sorry. Stop.
That's what happened.
Stop.
Anyway, so
Done.
The main point here being, it's here in the United States now, so watch out.
Yeah. So our final stories of the day are kind of a twofold, because we can never get away from Florida, and we can apparently never get away from McDonald's. So let's combine the two in two stories. One from Naples, and one from Lakeshore?
Lakeland
and Naples, Florida. Where in Naples, there was a gentleman who was thirsty, so he went in and asked for a water cup from McDonald's.
Legally, they have to give it to him.
Legally, they have to give him a cup for water, and he proceeded to go to the soda fountain and procure him some soda. For those of you who don't know, that only costs $1 right now. Not sponsored. We don't get paid money by McDonald's, but it's just $1, dude. So the dude didn't have $1 and went and filled up his soda that was not his, and proceeded to go sit outside. And when the manager went and asked him for $1 and whatever tax for his beverage, he told him to sit on something, and thusly stuck around while the police were called after he was asked to leave.
Not only that, he had a few previous convictions, so this amounted to a felony in the state of Florida. Really, worth it?
It's you know, one thing after another, and so he's a felon now, or allegedly a felon. He has to go to court and get tried for being a felon for stealing soda.
Petty theft all the way up to a felony. Good job, sir.
Ridiculous.
This other one also in McDonald's, like we said. So this guy was sitting there waiting to get served, and nobody asked to take his order inside this McDonald's. And eventually, after a very long time, I forget how long, doesn't matter, the manager walked up and asked him if he'd been served yet. This man just completely flipped his lid, said that no, of course he hadn't. And the same thing had happened to him yesterday, and he then went outside, grabbed back, came back in, and started beating the manager with the baseball bat. Really, I don't think McDonald's is that great.
It is not that great. It's okay.
And really,
the nuggets are pretty tasty.
There's a Taco Bell that I didn't get served at one point when I was working nights, and they made me a little bit late for work. I never went back to that Taco Bell. That is the correct action.
Don't give them your business.
Why did you go back?
First off, why did you go back? And second off, why did you go back with violent intent? If you're that hungry, go somewhere else.
Make your own burgers. Probably be better for you.
Make your own stinking burgers. Something. It's not that necessary. Dollar Menu is good. I'm just saying. I'm sorry. We're really not sponsored. I swear.
Which one of these two guys do you think is worse?
Tell us down in the comments.
The petty felon or the baseball bat idiot?
Moron. He's a moron.
Moron.
Idiots usually don't have a choice. Morons usually have a choice to be morons.
Right.
But thank you for watching. As always, I'm Jeremy.
I'm AJ.
And these are Extraordinary Times. Favorite us if you really enjoyed it. Like it if you kind of enjoyed it. Subscribe, please, so we can get better. And so you can, watch us first when it comes out. Right. We'll see you tomorrow. Be aware. I had a hero today.